Good afternoon. This is Lance Wood with the National Weather Service Houston Galveston office. I'm going to go ahead and begin our winter weather briefing here for today. So real quickly, an overview. I know we all talked yesterday. Dan gave a great briefing to sort of introduce this threat that we have coming up. So nothing really new. We're just going to get a little more specific on some of the amounts and details, and we'll talk a little bit about a second storm system the middle of next week. But as you know, Arctic air is plunging into southeast Texas. The real core of it will get here kind of Sunday into Monday. So because of that, we're expecting near record cold temperatures on Tuesday morning for southeast Texas. In the short term here, we could still see some periods of light freezing rain and drizzle. This threat's mainly across our western areas, even across the northern areas up there, Huntsville, Livingston, especially as we move into sort of Saturday night and Sunday morning. Some light accumulations are possible. Of course, the bigger event is the snow, sleet, and freezing rain that are likely on Sunday evening as that storm system approaches and moves across there on Monday. And because of that, travel is really going to be rough Sunday night through Tuesday. It'll be quite hazardous. What we didn't talk a whole lot about yesterday, a little more uncertain, is the second storm that's of concern. It looks like it could actually be moving a little bit slower across the area on Wednesday night, and even into Thursday morning before it exits. And we'll talk about that. Impacts right now, of course, a little bit tough on that one. But the impacts remain the same with this first one. And of course, next week, because of the cold, we know there's going to be some pipes likely freezing. Ice accretion, wind and power demand could lead to some power outages. So we'll begin with current conditions. Just about an hour ago, this is what the surface map looked like. You see the strong northerly winds continuing to usher in the colder air from the north. Still freezing in the far northwest and northern areas as of sort of midday, right around the freezing mark. Kind of drew that in there with the light blue line. Elsewhere, we're in the mid 30s, upper 30s in the coastal areas, probably near to lower 40s there on Galveston Island. So not a lot of change here this afternoon. It is dry. You don't see anything on the radar right now, although there could be some really light patchy drizzle in spots at times. We will warm, a couple of degrees maybe here this afternoon, but not going to get a whole lot warmer than what we're seeing. So I talked about this in the overview. I just decided to use and show you the high resolution ensemble forecast here in the short term. These light green areas are indicating the potential of very light icing from freezing rain. Most of what you see in the image on the bottom left here for today and tonight would probably be more towards tomorrow morning, kind of patchy there in the northwest areas, College Station. And then as you look on the right, this is probably more towards Saturday night and Sunday morning. You could get a little expansion to the areas being covered. So there you see it'll edge a little bit eastward. Still should stay mostly out of Harris County and Houston, but just to the north and west, you might see some light precipitation that freezes on contact. But again, this is before the storm system gets here. So current watches and warnings, pretty quiet right now across southeast Texas. That will be changing. You do see the winter storm watch up across North Texas. We do expect, I've been talking with our operations folks, they're likely issuing a winter storm watch later this afternoon for southeast Texas for that Sunday evening and Monday period. So look for that shortly. Dan showed these yesterday. I decided to show the whole state just so you sort of get a perspective of that Arctic air diving down. So Sunday morning, it's cold, it's freezing across a lot of the areas, sort of central and northwest. The coast won't be freezing yet. But then as we work into Monday morning and the storm system's really ongoing, you see a different story. You see the real cold Arctic air surging down with the teens already in the northwest areas and freezing temperatures starting to reach the coast there on Monday morning. And then Tuesday, the coldest morning likely of this event, single digits in the northwest areas of southeast Texas, teens in the Houston area, and mid-20s on the immediate coast, which is obviously very cold air that we haven't seen in Southeast Texas since the December 89 outbreak. And you can even go back into 83 as well when we had these kind of temperatures. So been a long time. I saw these in Sharpstown, Southwest Houston when I was a teenager. So like I said, been over 30 years for me. And then this is a little cooler than what we were advertising yesterday. This is because of that second storm system, likely going to produce some more precipitation moving into Thursday morning. So still a pretty significant freeze ongoing there in the northwest areas, and a lighter freeze still ongoing even in the coastal counties into Thursday morning. So Dan also showed these yesterday. I decided to use the Bryan College Station time series of temperatures there, and also got precipitation at the bottom. Those are chances generally with about a 6-hour resolution. That's why it kind of looks a little blockier than the temperatures. Temperatures are hourly. So you can see that light of freezing rain accumulation that's possible here, especially as we go into kind of Saturday night, probably the highest chance for some of those light accumulations. And then the more significant storm system with probably transitioning from freeze and rain to some sleet to snow up there in College Station there late Sunday night into Monday morning, then exiting Monday afternoon. And then you can see the precipitation chances as well with the next storm system are fairly significant. This particular storm system could actually last just a little bit longer, beginning sort of early Wednesday, lasting through Wednesday night, and then departing Thursday morning. That one, you know, it's way out there in time still, so we're going to have to monitor that for some potential changes. But we'll show a few of these points just to kind of get our points across of how things are going to behave at certain points here. But you can go to that website that you see, weather.gov forecast points, and really click on any point and any point you might be interested in. I added Huntsville here just because it's another area where we're going to see significant accumulation and cold air. See those lowest temperatures there Tuesday morning in the single digits. And then notice I highlight this on the College Station graphic as well, but really might not go above freezing all week there until Friday. Yeah, briefly Wednesday afternoon, maybe you get above freezing, maybe you don't. That may depend on if we get any cloud cover or not. And then Houston, Harris County, probably not as long a duration freeze, likely getting into the mid-30s there on Wednesday, but still very significant there on Monday and Tuesday being below freezing, and then may go a little bit above briefly there on Wednesday afternoon and on Thursday afternoon, but really not seeing any kind of significant warm up into the 40s in Houston until Friday afternoon. And then Galveston, we talked about Galveston yesterday. So the interesting thing about Galveston is not only do you have maybe 24 to 30 hours of freezing there early in the week, but with the second storm system, that midweek storm system, we're going to be watching those coastal temps that may be a little warmer on the immediate coast with the second storm system. So the immediate coast may dodge winter weather with the second storm system on Wednesday and Wednesday night. But we'll be monitoring that. That's still, you know, kind of far out there in the forecast. But right now, may see some 40s there along the immediate coast for that second storm system. And then as you get further inland, we have the impacts with winter weather. So there's a lot of information on this particular slide. I probably broke the rules on presenting, but I just wanted to sort of let you all have this as a reference of the two storm systems and how the American model, the GFS, kind of show how this may evolve with precip type. Now realize that this is just one model, and it's a deterministic model. It's not an ensemble. So the details on how this exactly plays out are going to differ from reality. We know that. But it gives you some idea that you can see that storm system, how it's kind of working across the area at different snapshots. So we see there midnight going into Monday morning, we sort of get the onset of more significant freezing rain and likely some sleet as well mixed in there. May transition from rain to freezing rain in the coastal areas in the morning hours, but probably starts as freezing rain as you get further inland. And then exiting the system there Monday afternoon. So it'll be kind of a wraparound snow event. So at places well inland, you're definitely going to see a changeover to snow. Could see snow even far down, even south of I-10, at least briefly. So we'll be sort of monitoring that. The second storm, like I said, beginning probably early on Wednesday, kind of light precipitation. The freezing rain may actually last a little bit longer with this one. We're kind of monitoring that as we go through the day on Wednesday. And then again, could be a changeover, some light snow late Wednesday night into Thursday morning. That one's, we're going to have to monitor that for some possible changes there because that's pretty far out. But just giving you the snapshot of what it looks like right now. So we do actually have a forecast of some amounts now. Dan kind of advertised that as we got closer, we may see this, that we're going to give this a shot. Freezing rain, that's kind of in the yellow is the amounts kind of up to 1/10 of an inch. And I will tell you, 1/10 of an inch is significant. We would see significant icing on especially elevated roadways with 1/10 of an inch. Some areas may see 1/4 of an inch. That's in the oranger areas. And you can see definitely the threat for that may be a little bit more in the central areas. And that's because the changeover to snow may occur a little bit quicker in the northwest. But we'll be refining this in the days to come as well. And I would say right now, a reasonable worst case would be maybe 1/2 inch in a few spots. And if that occurs, that's really significant icing where you have to worry more about some power line issues. But we'll see. It's kind of, like I said, it's kind of early for that, but we'll try to refine that even more as we get closer. Could actually see some sleet accumulate. It'll just depend on how fast the changeover from freezing rain to sleet to snow occurs. So as far as snow, we also have the snow forecast. This is going out through Monday. So this is through the first event, not through the second event. We do think 1 to 3 inches of snow can be expected generally across the northwest half. So, that might actually work its way into northwest Harris County, where you actually get 1 inch there across the very far northwest. Bryan College Station up towards Crockett, that's where you could see 3 inches of snow. And, isolated maybe even 4. Again, that depends on the changeover time. And at times there could be a mix occurring, especially early Monday morning as these precip types are changing over and may briefly occur together. So it's going to be a mess. And this is something that we don't see a whole lot of in Southeast Texas, where there's actually an event changing over as far as one precip type to the next. The marine hazards, well, as you can imagine, as the low and the storm system deepens in the Gulf, it's not going to be pretty out there on Monday. We're going to have gale warning type conditions with gusts likely to 45 knots. These will build to 7 to 14th as the core of that Arctic air moves over the water. And then slow improvement. We didn't really go beyond Tuesday night here with this outlook, but it's not looking too great midweek either. So we won't dwell on that. I think you get the idea. So a summary here for impacts. Dan did a great job of advertising this yesterday. Hazardous weather is expected, especially when we have a little bit more detail right now on that first storm system. And really, just for your assistance with messaging, we're recommending that people stay off the roads during this particular period. We want to keep the roads clear for emergency vehicles and road crews. This is that main period of wintry precipitation, Sunday evening into the early afternoon hours on Monday. We talked about the near record cold Monday night and Tuesday morning. Could burst some pipes, unfortunately, and then a long duration freeze next week for many. The wind chills, we haven't talked a lot about that. Even on the immediate coast, it's looking like we may see wind chills as low as 10 degrees on Monday morning. And well inland, we could see negative wind chills Monday and Monday night. So these are not things, obviously, temperatures that we see very often. So we need to make sure that if anybody does have to be out there working for any kind of duration, they take breaks, they bundle up. Don't try to be out there too long at any one point in time. Power outages are a concern. It's very dependent on how much ice falls. Again, we are expecting 1/10 of an inch across a lot of the area. Could be 1/4 inch in some areas. Then the next storm system Wednesday and Wednesday night, and that's why we're going to be continuing to brief you guys for a while, going into, it looks like, early next week at least. And we do expect impacts with this system. Don't want to get too detailed on that right now. We'll worry about the first one, but just be cognizant that is probably coming, and the threat is a little bit bigger for inland areas than coastal areas, is how it appears at the moment.